Good evening. It's 10 o'clock, Saturday night. Well, 10:01. And you know what that means? I am plugging my audio here. Okay. And that means it is time for Tev's next idea to stream some more Higurashi when they cry whoo. Whatever that means. Okay, well, I am Terrence Koch. I run the website Tev's Next Idea, where I post my solo role-playing games as stories. I ask you to invite you to go read over there if you want. And lately I've been streaming my playthrough of Higurashi When They Cry Who. It is a Japanese visual novel, so it's supposed to be a horror novel. Really, we should probably change this whole stream, the theme of it, or the channel, to a just chatting channel, because all I'm doing is reading a visual novel. There are no choices. There are really nothing I need to do. There's no action. You're just going to hear me talk for the next hour and try to voice four 13 to 16-year-old schoolgirls. Let's see. So where we are, before we get on with the story, I did find something last week that I found was very interesting. And let me pull that up. This is a picture here of the different versions of this game. On the left, you will see that is this is the character Rena from the game. And we are playing the Steam version, so you're probably used to seeing her like the girl in the middle there. And then the PS3 is pretty close on the right. I would say that's pretty close. But on the left is the original character model for this game. And original, I'm assuming this was done in Japan. What is that? That looks very cartoonish, which is fine, but I just always thought that the images that we're seeing is typical of a Japanese anime visual novel. You see that all over the place. And I just thought that was weird. Take it for what you want. Let's go back to the game here. Okay, so we have the cute counter. Rena finds everything cute, and whenever we have a cute moment, we will add that up. And there is a special type of cuteness that gets two numbers. If you've watched before, you know what that is. If not, we'll explain that when it happens. If it happens, we had no cutes last time. And we also got the chat bar up this time. So if I get any chat, we can now save it. I mean, you can see it if you're on Twitch, of course. But I was not able to catch that for when I post these things on my own YouTube channel. So if you watch it after I stream, or after it's wiped off of Twitch, you wouldn't see all that chat. And speaking of such, in the title of this video, there is a path that you can go to see the previous videos on my YouTube channel. That's my YouTube channel, at Tevico604, in the playlists. Okay, so where we are in this game. Let me continue here for a second. And we are at the end of Chapter 6. Okay, so where we are in this game is we've spent the first, I don't know, several weeks of playing this game, just doing nothing but talking to the girls in classroom, playing games, being embarrassed, all that kind of stuff, and fishing Colonel Sanders out of the old dam construction site, which is kind of turned into a junkyard. I know this makes no sense, but we just had the Cotton Festival, and what we learned last week was that every year for the last 4 years or so after the Cotton Festival, someone has died. And I think that's where we bring it right now. It is the night of the Cotton Festival. We just had it. So far, no one's died. We have several suspects for who could be doing the killings. We never know who is going to get killed. I doubt it's going to be me. It would be a short game. Well, short game. We've already been, 7-8 hours into this game, of a 13-hour game, but we just got to go on, see what happens. Hopefully we get some action in this episode. Hopefully we get someone killed. Not that I'm a fan of killing, but it makes this a little bit more interesting. Okay, so let me hit load. Yes, I'm going to load. And as I've said many times on this stream, I am not the greatest reader, at least not on the spot. I think I do pretty good if I have practice, but not on the spot. So don't expect any like wonderful voiceovers. Hey, digital, how you doing? Oh, you missed my wonderful picture I just showed about the different versions of this game and the different character creations, and how shocked I was at what the original looks like. Looks nothing like what we're playing now. You can also see that I got the chat bar up. And continue. So it looks like we're in a village. Let me turn this down. Okay. You know what? I can never... She begins with an M. Miso, Mino, we'll find out pretty soon. I know Rena, I know Rika, I know Keichii. Good morning. Nice job yesterday, Keichii. You did so badly yourself. Mion! Hey, thank you. Mion. Yesterday was fun. Wait. This is the next day. Is someone dead? Oh, I'll show it to you in a second, Digital. Oh, that's right, Keichii-kun. Thank you so very much. For Mr. Bear. I'm glad you like it. Don't use it as a pincushion, though. I wouldn't. Okay. Still chatting happily, we entered the classroom. But the moment I stepped into the room, a splashing sound and a nasty sensation. It was a bucket filled to the brim with water. Oh, I was going for blood. And unfortunately, my foot stepped right into it. My now! How diligent of you to mop the floor this morning. Clomp, 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 whip, whiff. Wah! Keichii-kun flicked my forehead. Yes, she deserved it. You should set a more brutal trap next time. Seeing that, Rena began to swoon as Mion looked on dejectedly. Everything was the same as always. Everybody was there and nothing felt out of place. The uncertainness I had in the back of my mind since yesterday had vanished. It could be Tomasan or whatever his name was. Yeah, what is it, Keichii-kun? Didn't you get enough sleep, maybe? Maybe? I slept like a log, but if you want, I'll do a reenactment during class. You shouldn't do that. Mion alerted us that the teacher was coming, so everyone shuffled off to their seats. What? The teacher actually comes today at the beginning? We don't have a good 45 minutes of ruthless games before the teacher shows up? Good morning, everyone. So yesterday was the festival. Thank you. I think this is a male teacher. I don't know. Thank you to all the people who stayed until the very end to help clean up. We were all slackers, so, none of us actually helped clean up. Actually, I had a feeling the only thing we did was run around the festival and cause a ruckus. Okay then, this time of year, you might see some people here from out of town doing interviews about the festival for magazines. They're waiting to see who died. I thought it was the usual stuff, so I was going to tune it out. But then I noticed the different tone in her voice and started paying attention. Okay? You may be asked questions. Please don't say anything silly or something that could be taken the wrong way. Do you understand? In unison, everyone replied, Yes, ma'am. What she said was really vague, but I understood what she was trying to say. After all, this was the 5th year. There were probably lots of third-rate reporters pouring in, hoping something regarding the curse had happened. It did nothing but perpetuate the village's bad image. She was saying, Don't spout stupid shit you think is funny. And now I was one of the ones who needed to keep their mouths shut. I found it rather cute how I felt a sense of unity from such a trite thing, if I do say so myself. I was summoned to club activities after school. Since everybody was still pretty tired from yesterday, we just spent the day relaxing, hey, yeah, that wasn't happening. Today, let's play a classic game of deduction. How about this one? Oh, a game from overseas. Looks interesting. The instructions are in English, but the rules don't seem that hard. I won't lose, you hear? I'm not too bad at this game. It seemed that Rena didn't handle this kind of game very well. The rules are, the person who can match the murderer, weapon, and the scene of the crime wins. Oh, we're playing Cluedo, known in the States as Clue. There were 3 kinds of cards comprised of suspects, weapons, and locations. I could see that the names Mion and Rika were written on the suspect cards. Oh, a card with my name on it as well. Wait, where's Colonel Mustard, Miss Scarlet, Mrs. White, Professor Plum? Where are all these people? There are plenty of different weapons too, like knives, axes, and poison. The locations are pretty nice too, like the living room, the study, and the courtyard. So basically, you take out one of each of the cards. These are the answer cards. So we shuffle the remaining cards and hand them out. We ask each other about the cards and figure out the right ones. Ah, I see. So the cards nobody has are the true perpetrators. Then you raise your hand if you know the answer. The game ends and we check if the answer is correct. If you're right, then you get a point. If you're wrong, then you lose a point. Points? No, that's the game. It's one game. Since the game ends, if no one gets it right, all the cards are gathered up and redistributed. Okay, I'm about to sneeze, folks. Wait, maybe not. Wait, hold on. Okay. You'll learn as you go. You really have to use your brain. You'll get confused if you don't take notes. The rest you can figure out by playing. So, Mion, what's the penalty this time? Everyone directed their attention to Mion. Let's see. We're all still a little tired from yesterday, so maybe we'll take it easy with a gopher penalty. You'll be asked to rush out and buy stuff for everyone. So, just being asked to go buy stuff like drinks and candy, I guess? I feel the penalty today is pretty simple. I wonder, is it really? Is Keichii-san thinking what I'm thinking? Well, apparently you can hear my thoughts, so yes. Yeah, you don't know what you'll have to go buy. I'm betting Mion would send out whoever loses to buy stuff like hemorrhoid cream, or happy family planning manual, or other crazy stuff. The cards were lightly shuffled and passed out to each player. The real perpetrator, the correct weapon, and the scene of the murder have been taken out. So that means all the cards I have in my hand are innocent cards. Then I'll go first since I'm the club president, I guess. Well then, Mion. Knife, study. You pick one suspect, weapon, and murder scene and ask each person. Okay? If you have any of those cards, then you must say I have one. However, you don't need to say which one you have. Ooh, this is a little tricky. This is an option that we should try sometime in our real Clue games. Yeah, I got it. Me too. I have one. Oh my, all of them are here. Well, see, that's easy. You know none of those. People answered when she asked if they had Mion, Knife, and Study. So that means that Mion and Knife and Study are all in the clear. Got to jot that down. Then I'll go. You're just picking a turn? Rena, Axe, and Lounge. Only 2 people said they had one. So it means out of Rena, Axe, and Lounge, one of them is correct. And it's part of the crime. No, wait. Even if they say they have one, they don't have to say how many. Oh my goodness. It's possible that either Satoko or Rika-chan has 2 of the cards. Well, Keichii is next. Go ahead. Wait just a little. I'm still sorting things out. The game has me thinking more than I thought. Oh man, this feels like it's going to be tough. Yeah, it would. It would. This would be an interesting twist on this game. Alright, now I have the criminal. What? Already? Here, I am spinning around in circles, and Mion just now raises her hand. The murderer is Rika-chan. Should you tell that to everyone? In the infirmary with the poison. Now, is this her accusation, or is this another guess? Well, Mion drew the cards from the box, and we checked to see if her deduction was right. You were right! Ah! All I needed was one more hand. I couldn't tell whether it was poison or a pistol. I never use a pistol. I like killing them slowly with poison. Okay. Oh, wait a second. Oh, wait a second. Oh, wait a second. What if they do find someone murdered after this, or dead after this Cotton Festival, and it matches one of these games' patterns? That cannot be good. Rika-chan said such a hugely terrifying thing with such a sweet little face, especially if whoever is killed is with poison. Everyone was making a commotion about how they almost had it. Rena and I were left out in the cold, though. How did you do, Keichii-kun? I couldn't get it at all. Don't worry, I had no idea either. How can you both be so unsure? You'll both end up in last place together at this rate. That's even worse. Going off buying something together as a couple? What if we end up having to buy the Happy Family Planning Guide? I can tell from Keichi's expression that he's not very good at this game. Well, that's not true. I'll show you the true power of Sherlock Mayabra during the next round. My, that sounds just wonderful. I shall give you quite the thrashing. She sounds so evil, doesn't she? At least the way that I say it. After that, I managed to somewhat grasp the trick behind the game, but I was still always a step or two behind. I saw that Mion was somehow gleaning information from how the others were asking their questions. That level of experience was just too much. The only way I could stage a comeback was if I became ruthless. I tossed out the simple concept of deduction and switched over to the thought process needed to win. Cheating! Just kidding. The important thing isn't to find out the criminal, it's to win at the game. Eureka! Sorry, need to go to the bathroom. Take your time and squeeze out a nice one. Thank you, Mion. Mi-chan, that's gross. I had to hold off the game. I had them hold off the game and headed down the hall. The air was crisp. It showed just how stagnant the air in the classroom was from our body heat. On the school grounds, some of our classmates were still playing around. After spending some time cooling my head, Rena had made her way over towards me. What? Keichii-kun, did you call for me? Yeah, I did. What? As I got up from my seat, I winked over at Rena. Oh, we have a secret code now? I'm glad it worked out. There we go. I don't want to waste too much time, so I'll get right to the point. Rena, what's your record at this game we were playing today? She was taken aback. After a moment, she hesitantly opened her mouth. Well, all losses. Why do you ask? I wonder. I could tell from how apprehensively she was playing. The way things are going, I will as well. I can't figure out a way to pull off a last-minute comeback on this one. So, I guess both of us will be taking that penalty. Hey, don't accept defeat already. How about we win this? Both of us. But how can we? I brought my lips up to Rena's ear. Whisper, 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 whisper. Huh? Is that allowed? Okay, maybe it is cheating. Did you forget, Rena? The second rule of our society? Do everything in your power to obtain victory. Yeah, I'll try my best. Our plan of attack was a quite rudimentary one. At the beginning of the game, everyone would be focused on their own hand for a while, taking notes and whatnot. Since our seats were right next to each other, we'd reveal our hands to each other. Woohoo! If we did it under the desk, then nobody would know. We'd begin the game with twice as much information as everyone else. Having this much information would mean we need to investigate less. Oh, this is great. With this sort of plan of attack, we start off with a big lead over the other guys. Yeah, with this, we can probably win. We both smirked at each other. If I wasn't the shady businessman, then Rena was the corrupt. If I was the shady businessman, then Rena was the corrupt senator. Pleasure doing business with you. Then let's hurry back. We'll work as a duo to surprise everyone. Hey now, there's no point if we go back together. It would be like flat out telling them we made a little arrangement. Smart, Rena. You're smart. Oh, sorry. Then what should we do? Go back ahead of me, Rena. I'll take my time coming back after washing my face or something. Okay, got it. Rena turned around and headed back to the classroom. I guess I should wait a little bit longer before going back. If I went too soon, it wouldn't seem like I went to the bathroom. If Mion or one of them suspected something, then there could be problems. Wait a second, hold on. I should have been back from the bathroom by now. I am a boy. Wouldn't Rena be the one that took longer in the bathroom? Well, they'd figure out sooner or later, because both Rena and I would start winning over and over again. Now here's the real question. Who's going to take the first win? Both Rena and I will have enough points to avoid being the losers by the time Mion realized what was happening. Excellent. Not bad at all. My Abra-kun, may I have a moment? Who is this? Huh? It's the teacher. Okay, good. Man, things were just getting good. What is it? I'm a bit... You have a guest. Please, make your way to the entrance. A guest? It's not like I own a hotel. That was a bad one. They have been waiting. Please hurry. It was rather unfortunate that I'd have someone waiting on me right before my big match, but I was more interested in the unexpected guest. I didn't want to waste any time, so I decided to take care of it quickly. The entryway was a heavy contrast from the hot sunlight and deep shadows. Oh man, who's this? Waiting there, looking uncomfortably warm, was a middle-aged man, his tie sloppily loosened, and his jacket tucked underneath his arm. Who's this guy? Are you my Amber-san? Keichii my Amber-san? There was no question that he wasn't a resident of Hinamazawa, and that this was without a doubt the first time he had ever met me. Ever since I met Tomitaki-san, I'd been running into so many middle-aged men. That's right. Who might you be? I have the AC on in my car. Let's talk there. It's a bit hot here, don't you think? Okay, so I'm just going to get into a car. Me, a 15-year-old boy, with this strange man? The man, completely ignoring my question, pointed over at his car parked near the gate and began walking. You've got to be kidding me. I have no intention of going along with some geezer I didn't even know, and he was asking me to get in the car with him. Good job, Keichii. I'm not going to bite. Come on now. He opened the back door. Oh, I'm not going to bite. Come on now. He opened the back door of his car and called me over. I didn't like this old man, but I wanted to know what this was all about, even while knowing that conversations that start out like this have never led to anything good. Okay, so I go in. I just said I wasn't going to go in. Boo, Keichii. The inside of his car was pretty cool. And I mean temperature-wise, not like neato. Cars with air conditioners were supposed to be a luxury. My dad didn't have one in his car, at least. Please, let me know if it's too cold for you, okay? I have a habit of cranking it all the way up. So, what business do you have with me? Out of spite, I decided to ignore his remark in the same way he did to me and start my own line of questioning. He pulled out a notepad from his pocket and took out a picture of what was stuck between the pages. Oh no. It's not a picture of Tomasaki, is it? On it was the face of a pretty goofy-looking guy. Oh, me. If you know anything related to this individual, then please tell me. Who the heck is this? I doubt even his close friends would be able to recognize who he was from this expressionless picture that looked like it had been taken at the DMV. There were scribbles on his shirt done in permanent marker, starting with yours, my Aberson, and quite a few of your classmates' signs. Well, wait. That was the shirt that we scribbled on for Tomataki-san, but I don't recognize the picture. Does that mean... Well, let's see. Huh? This is Tomataki-san? There was no hint of his usual unreliable and easygoing personality in this photo. What, I really don't recognize him? It was an expressionless, half-asleep face. Then, do you know this woman? Even before seeing it, I had a good idea of who it was. I don't remember her name, but she's some lady who was with Tomataki-san last night. I didn't know what her name was, but I did know she was a resident of Hinamizawa. Then, when was the last time you saw these two? The night of the Watanagashi. We spoke. They seemed pretty close, I guess. Did anything bother you about them? Anything is fine. Go ahead and say it. Being asked for every little detail is very troubling, honestly. I had a pretty good idea of who the guy was by now. Did something happen to them? There was no response to my inquiry. Thus, I replied to that silence in kind. I was pretty sure, no certain, that this guy was a cop. Then why? Why was he asking about Tomataki-san? Did something happen to him? More importantly, why me? Shouldn't there have been plenty of other people who knew more about him than I did? The roar of the air conditioner felt unbearably loud. After a long pause, he finally spoke again. You've moved here just recently, isn't that right, my Aberson? Are you aware, I wonder, about the stories of Oyashiro-sama? My heart began to race. I'm pretty terrible at hiding things. It probably showed on my face. Not at all. If you don't, then that's... Oh, wait a second. Not at all? If you don't, then that's fine. Well, I have heard of it. Tomataki-san told me, actually... How much do you know about it? The dismemberment killing? The accidental death? The death by illness followed by suicide? And the lady who was beaten to death? The incidents that always happen the day of the Watanagashi, ending in suspicious deaths. I didn't think Tomataki-san would have kept anything from me. I think that was everything. No, rather, I didn't want to think there was anything more than that. Do you know of that
Well, curse my Abra-san? Feel free to speak openly about it.
I don't believe in it. My answer was instant. It wasn't so much that I didn't believe in it, as I was on the verge of believing. I wanted to clear away my own doubts. That was the more prominent feeling.
Really? Then that's great. Guess you really are one of those city-raised boys.
So, what if I don't believe? I have friends waiting, so could you get to the point? Yeah, I got a game going on, I'm going to win this game, not have to do something embarrassing.
The man in this picture is dead.
Oh, great. My mind went blank. Huh? What happened to Tomotaki-san?
It would seem that he died last night. That was the night of the Watanagashi. Do you understand the implications behind that, Mayambra-san?
Implications? Not any for the cause of his death or the reasons behind it. The real problem was that he died on the day of the Watanagashi. Meaning this year, the curse of Oyashiro-sama had once again.
The death of Yiro Tomataki is still confidential. You can understand why that is, right?
I didn't want to understand why. Please tell me. Tell me what happened.
It was rather peculiar. It might be a little too graphic for someone born and raised in Hinamizawa.
It was a roundabout way of saying it, but it caused me to doubt whether or not I wanted to hear the rest. Here's the murder in the chapter. Well, I kind of figured that out. Oh, and here's the murder in chapter 8. I kind of figured that out. Okay. You said something about me having a choice to make? We'll see. I would only regret forcing myself to learn of something I shouldn't. Oh, do I get to choose whether I want to hear this or not? Well, you know what I'm gonna pick. Or at least, that's how I figured I would feel if I listened to the rest.
One of our patrol cars discovered the body on the way back from security detail at the festival. It was late, about 5 till midnight. The location was, where the road into town becomes paved, right? Down past the slope, on the shoulder, around there. There were a few streetlights on that road. Its pitch-black darkness was only broken by the lights of the passing cars and the moon. It was a stroke of luck that Tomataki-san was spotted collapsed on the shoulder of the road. Tomataki-san was face down, covered in blood. Blood and muck covered the asphalt. We thought it was a hit and run at first. But when the officer checked to see if he was still alive, he quickly noticed something abnormal. His throat had been ripped open.
From a knife or something?
No. Nails.
Nails? As in fingernails? With those he clawed through?
From the coroner's report, it was revealed that it was with his own nails.
What? What? Huh? What? What does that mean? Basically, it means that it wasn't a murder. It was suicide. Yeah. Who commits suicide by ripping out their own throat with their own nails? Who could even do that? It sounds like some of the cop shows I've been watching. Tomataki-san thought there was a reason to tear open his own throat. As hard as he could with his own nails, he was trying to perform a self-tracheotomy. Tore through his skin until he started to bleed. And even then, Tomataki-san didn't stop. He continued clawing with enough intensity that it could have peeled off his nails. Still clawing. Ooh, still clawing. Then, as his nails reached those vital arteries that you should never damage, he continued clawing. Splurt! Blood splattered on the ground around him. Who saw this? This is very vivid. As he bled, while gasping for breath, he collapsed. His body spasmed, and he died in agony. Kids, if you're watching, you may not want to watch this. We thought drugs were to blame, but nothing of that nature was detected. But this, it was suicide. Well, yes, I can see that. For someone to do that, I have heard that, there are some really crazy, bath salts and stuff like that could do that to you. I've never heard of such a thing. This unnatural way of dying. If this wasn't a mysterious death, then what was? The way he died in this 5 years, his death most resembled that of a curse. We'll say that. And it's a show both myself and Tomotaki-san who proclaimed there was no such thing as a curse, that we were wrong. There were a few more suspicious details from his body chemistry, perspiration, epilation, and so on. We concluded that he was in a state of hysteria right before his death. Well, that was a given. It's hard to believe someone could be in a sound state of mind while clawing out the throat. Hey, I think I'm just going to rip my throat out. Never tried that before. Wounds on his hands matched a discarded piece of lumber found nearby. There are traces of where he struck trees and the guardrails with it. Tomotaki-san's blood was found all over the place. Well, how? Meaning that while tearing out his own throat, he was swinging around a piece of lumber? Or how about this? How about someone else tore out his throat? Under what basis are we thinking he tore his own throat out? Just because maybe there's some blood on his fingers? There were external injuries which were not self-inflicted discovered on Tomotaki-san. There is a high probability Tomotaki-san was assaulted. The external injuries that suggest there might be multiple suspects. To summarize, Tomotaki-san was surrounded and attacked. While wandering the night roads in a state of panic after being cornered, he picked up a piece of lumber and tried fighting back. Somewhere in there, he began madly tearing at his own throat, clawing at it. Once again, how do we know this? Then he died. Okay, I'm going to quick save really here. Okay. This is nuts. This is just nuts. The presumed time of death was around 9:23 p.m., meaning it occurred right after you finished talking to Tomotaki-san at the festival. Did I ever tell this guy when I was talking to Tomotaki-san? Unless they're just assuming he left the festival around that time. Everyone signed Tomataki's shirt, then parted ways. Right after that. Oh yeah, he should have been with a woman. What about her? She's missing. She hasn't shown up to work, and she hasn't returned home either. There is a very high probability that she was involved in this incident. For a while, I could only gaze off into space. I never would have thought that something unfortunate happening to somebody close to me could affect me this deeply. Or someone I just met. The time I had spent with Tomotaki-san was short. But we went to the same festival, spent time together, and took part in the same competition. He was one of us, just much older. We have been continuing the investigation on various fronts, but when it comes to Oyashiro-sama's curse, the villagers here aren't very cooperative. That I knew well. I would have been none the wiser if not for Tomotaki-san, the outsider, telling me. So that's why you came to me? Because I'm not originally from Hinamizawa? I should have been angry that was the reason he wanted to hear what happened for me. Why should I have been angry? If things go the way they have been, then the conclusion would be that Jiro Tomotaki died from Oyashiro-sama's curse. He turned away from me and gazed far off into the distance. The night of the Watanagashi, during that sacred ritual, he callously snapped off photos angering Oyashiro-sama. That's how it's going to turn out. Is he telling me what the official story is going to be? The cops are gonna buy this bull? There's no way Oyashiro-sama would inflict divine punishment on Tomataki-san. Tomataki-san had to have been killed by humans, and a cowardly group, no less. There's no way I'm going to end up letting this be the fault of some curse.
I think so as well. There's no such thing as divine punishment or curses.
The tense mood was cut by the man's hearty laugh.
That's how this must be, my Amber-san. Cooperation from individuals in Hinamizawa who don't believe the curse is indispensable. Understand?
Neither Tomataki-san nor I believed in curses, but with the way things were going, it would just end up with Tomataki-san's marking the 5th year. Which would mean that Hinamizawa had rejected Tomataki-san. That was something I couldn't allow. Tomataki-san was one of us, darn it! He didn't live in Hinamizawa, but he came every single year. In a sense, he was more of a resident than I was. Did you ever get any mail here? That's how you determine residency. There was no way that Tomataki-san could have been cursed by Oyashiro-sama. But there is nothing I can do to help.
I have no idea what happened that night either.
Okay, I guess this is him.
No. If you see or hear something that draws your attention, then that is enough.
If I see or hear, he was talking in the future tense. Like next year? Things or people or rumors?
Anything is fine. I don't care if they're just unfounded. Here, this is my number. If I'm not there, then just leave a message with whoever picks up.
He handed me a piece of paper with his number on it, but I hesitated for a second. If I took it, then whether I wanted to or not, I'd be mired deep knee in this matter. I already am.
Please, help me solve these questions surrounding Tomataki-san's unfortunate death.
That's right. Why was I hesitating? I needed to find the murderer who killed my friend. I snatched up the piece of paper as a satisfied grin spread across his face.
Everything we spoke of today here is a secret. Please, keep this confidential.
Okay, so someone asked me to find out who the murderer is, but I'm not allowed to tell anyone that I was asked to help find out who the murderer was. So how do I find out? This is like, how many number of cozy mysteries where the innocent person that's not a cop ends up solving all the crime, and then at the end is caught by the killer and is about to get killed that's when the cop comes in. Oh yes, and of course when I try to call my cop friend to say I am going to confront the killer, they're not answering their phone, so I have no way of knowing that they're coming. They just show up at the last minute. It's a freaking Hallmark mystery movie. Understood.
From your friends as well, especially from Sonozaki-san and Farood-san.
Please do not inform them. Who is Sonozaki-san and Farood-san? Sonosaki? You mean Mion? Oh, well, that's obvious. Oh, last names. Okay. Why? Are you saying they have something to do with the incident? With my friends' names brought up so abruptly and being told to keep it a secret from them, I became rather angry. This is what they call investigative privilege, I suppose.
Don't play game. Wait. Oh, that's him. This is what they call investigative privilege, I suppose.
Don't play games with me. Mion is a close friend of mine. I snapped at him, but he seemed to especially be offended.
I wouldn't mind telling you, but it may just upset you.
Say it. He hesitated a little. Turning his gaze to the outside of the car, he began to speak after thinking for a bit. I'm friends with the murderer.
There's a possibility that the string of incidents happening here in Hinamizawa are a result of a village conspiracy.
There's no way that could be right. Give me a break. First of all, is there any proof of that?
No evidence. Also, each of the cases were resolved, and none of the perpetrators had any direct connection to the
Is that me? Yeah. Then how did you come to that conclusion?
Every year, the enemies of the village die on the day of the Watanagashi.
Tomotaki-san is not an enemy. How is he an enemy?
Don't you think that's enough reason to suspect something?
Only the residents of Hinamizawa felt that the day of the Watanasaki was sacred. So basically, because incidents happened on that day, it was somehow related to Hinamizawa?
First, it was the dam construction foreman. Then, it was the villager that supported it. Those the village hold a grudge against die one after the other from mysterious causes. The means are different, but in the end, the result is the same.
Unfounded, unreasonable suspicion. But it couldn't just be shrugged off. So, the victims after that, what about the Shinto priest and his wife's death? They weren't enemies of the village.
The villagers had expected leadership from the Shinto priest at the time of the dam dispute, but he wasn't proactive, so there was a faction of villagers who harbored ill will towards him as a result.
But it was the sickness. It was like ill will. It's not like he did anything bad to the village. What about that housewife after that? Did she die just because she was the wife of the brother of a supporter? That's such a trivial reason to kill someone. And what about Tomotaki-san? He's not affiliated with the dam project at all. He was killed just because he was an outsider? In the beginning, it fell on those related to the dam project, but as the years went on, the enemy threshold of the victims had become much lower.
Well, that's just the scary part. The bar keeps getting lower.
What's scary about that?
It means it's not just enemies of the village anymore. Just being an outsider is reason enough.
Then, next year's victim? They're just going to be picked out of the villager outsider pool? Of which I kinda am?
It might be a person that just moved here.
What do you mean by... I swallowed my words. Here in Hinamizawa, the ones who would be considered the most outside would be my family. This year they would. This year. Not next year, but Tomotaki-san's been coming for several years when they got him. So, maybe it needs to... Oh, what's the word? God, he just left me. What do you do with food? Marinade for a little while before people realize, oh, you know what? He's still alive. I was proof enough of that, wasn't I? I still couldn't really remember the names of the people I passed by, or the names of the girls in this game, if you want to say that. Then, the next victims, my family. Was he saying that it was going to be me? But what does that have to do with Mion?
I can't go into details, but the Sonozaki family led the dam protests. Quite fervently so. This is also true of Mion Sonozaki-san herself. She has quite a few misdemeanor and obstruction of public workers offenses on her record because of the protests. I knew Mion knew what it meant to fight. This was the first I've heard of her family leading the protests, though. Well then, what did it all mean? Are you saying that Mion's family is involved with this string of incidents? I wouldn't go that far. I'm just saying that if it's a conspiracy, then they'd have the highest probability of being behind it.
Not a very clear explanation. It felt like he'd magnificently avoided the details I really wanted to know.
We don't know who or how involved anyone is right now. That is exactly why I don't want you to say anything to the villagers.
Instead of answering, I gave a very bitter expression. It seemed that he understood it well enough.
Then think of it like this. I don't want to worry the villagers who blindly believe it's the curse. How about that?
What do you mean, how about that? How should I know? But the reason behind wanting me to not carelessly open my mouth about it wasn't too hard to comprehend. The perpetrator was here. It had nothing to do with a curse. He was definitely going to be caught by the police and made to pay for his crimes. And none of the villagers should have anything to do with that process. It may cause those sensitive about the curse to just worry needlessly. Just like everyone kept it from me, so I wouldn't worry about it. Is it now my turn to keep it from them so they don't have to worry? Oh. Okay, new thought. I was just talking to myself. Unlike me, everyone else had been worrying over these mysterious incidents yearly, and the incident this time probably means a lot more to them. I didn't want to burden them anymore. In the end, everything went as the man had wanted, as insipid as it was, but it couldn't be helped. I understand. I'll keep it to myself. Is that fine? Mr. Ushi from the Okinomiya Police Station. Okinomiya Police Station. Okay. You can call me Kura-san if you want, because that must be his first name. Kura Oishi. Okay. No, Oishi-san is fine. The way he said it was unpleasant, yet retained hints of politeness. He was the spitting image of a vulgar police officer. Though I've never seen one this bulky before in the cop shows I watched. I've taken up too much time. Your friends are waiting, aren't they? My friends probably got home by now. I should probably let you get back to them. And how can I play a game about murder at this point? The door opened with a click, and in streamed the oppressive heat. Okay. This is what I'm thinking. I've had these thoughts before. Nothing's ever panned out, so I'm not too concerned about knowing this. But maybe when someone starts talking about the events too much, they get targeted for killing. I don't know why, but maybe that's why none of the villagers that know about it want to say anything about it, because they're afraid if they talk too much about it, then he will be, that person would be killed. Tomotaki-san told me a lot about it, and then he died. Okay, so that's my thought. We'll see what happens. We only got, another 20 hours to go? It was blistering outside of the car. Was it really this hot of a day? Hold on. I'm going to sneeze soon. Okay, I caught it. It was an almost cruel heat as opposed to the mechanical coolness inside the car. It was as if the land of Hinamizawa itself suddenly hated me. I felt a little sad as that thought crossed my mind. I didn't mean to suspect your friends. Please, don't misunderstand that. I refrained from telling him that it was too late to say something that self-serving. It's fine if you don't hear anything, my Amber-san. There's enough proof that the village is not involved. The village is involved. The village is not involved. The village is involved. The village is not involved. I'll contact you if I hear or see anything. But I'm no detective. I'm a 15-year-old kid. Please don't expect too much from me. I won't. You don't have to become a detective. Just go on living as you have up until now. Just let me know if you notice anything. I hastily made my way back to the school building after giving him a quick bow. See you later. Farewell, my Amber-kun. I returned to the school building without looking back. I don't know how much time had passed. I did feel bad for keeping them waiting, but right now there was a lot on my mind. Tomotaki-san's death was hard enough as it was, but to think there was a possibility of a village conspiracy? Worse still, there was also a chance that Mion was involved. Well, you gotta like the bad girls. Nonsense. Impossible. Not Mion, Rena, Satoko, or Rika-san. Digital. Who was that other last? I didn't recognize the other last name. Which one of those four was that? Furuta-san or Fruit? Do you remember? You know, you've played the game. You'll tell me in a minute. It was a group that attacked Tomotaki-san. Who could the perpetrators be? Could it be they were hiding here, somewhere in Hinamizawa? I didn't know. All I could say for certain was that I knew that Mion couldn't be the perpetrator. It's Michan, the perpetrator. What? Huh? I was startled to hear Rena's voice. With the rope in the lounge? How about on the side of the road with the nails? Nope. No. Rena clutched her head while flailing about. Looks like you're just self-destructing over there. Wow. Ah! Keichii-san, you're quite late. As you may well know, I'm seething with anger. Sorry about that? I was called into the staff room, you see? You were reprimanded for your bad behavior. That's a shame. What bad behavior? Well, it's been pretty heated over here. Since it's getting pretty late, let's make the next game the last one. Oh, well, I'm gonna be the winner! Okay, Rena Ryugu, Mion Sonozaki, Keichii Maebra, Satoko Huju. Oh, Rika? Oh! Okay. Yeah, I know Keichii Maebra, of course, duh. But, and if I would have thought about it, Rena Ryugu, I do remember that. But Rika? What does she have to do with any of this? Okay. If I remember right, I had 0 points. Isn't it pretty much decided that I'm going to be finishing in last place? Don't worry, Keiichi-kun. I'm at -1 point. How? -1 point? The heck? Her score's lower than mine and I wasn't even playing? How do you get -1 point? Oh, I guess if you get it wrong, you get deducted a point. This is the final match to decide if the penalty is going to be carried out by Rena alone or by both Keishan and Rena. Yeah, alright. Just let Rena do the penalty by herself. We made a promise, Keiichi-kun, that we would both win. I waited all this time, you know. You know? I'm sorry about that. I'm a bad boy. I followed my initial plan of showing Rena my cards, but I didn't say who was the criminal and just waited for her to call. I got it! The murderer is me! Oh. With the poison at the entrance. Is it? Is it? Oh, gee. My, Rena. Quite a quick answer. Oh, shoot. Another stab in the dark. Oh. Rena's correct. Oh, ho, ho. Then it's decided that Keiichi-san shall take part in the penalty as well. Hooray! Keiichi-kun, let us both do our best. Okay, what if Mion was setting up the cards in the game so that she revealed the killer? No. This is just too crazy. Yeah, let's do our best. Ha ha ha. It's my fault. So I have no choice. It's the cops. It's Oisha's fault. Then that's game. It's me, Mion Sonozaki, ranked first. And dead last are Keichii Maebra and Rena Ryugu. Ah, you see? This is how the game kind of reminds you. They're going to go through all the last names right here. And if I would have just waited. Everyone applauded and the game ended. The problem now was the penalty. Okay, or maybe not do every last name. Now then, I ranked first, so I'll decide what you'll be buying for the gopher penalty. Oh, what should we make us buy? I wonder. Let's blacklist the drugstore. That was your aim, wasn't it? Huh? I don't have any business at the drugstore. This old man's already got a list prepared for you on this piece of paper. Why does she keep calling herself an old man? Whoa, there's a lot written here. A lot. Damn it, what was she making us buy? 2 blocks of tofu, shampoo and conditioner, apple vinegar, and fried tofu. The heck is this? It looks more like a shopping list than a penalty. Mia was certain she was going to win today. Rule 7 of our society. You cannot refuse any penalty. Here's some money. The shampoo I usually get is Fruit Fable, thanks. This is just your grocery list? It could be worse. I promised myself that if I won next time, I'd make her go buy hemorrhoid cream. Wait a second. Are you implying that you need hemorrhoid cream? Or I need hemorrhoid cream? Now, Higurashi, when they cry. So I guess that's the end of the chapter. Yep, because that's what Andrew said when it fades. And yes, more tips. Good. Because we are at about the 1 hour mark, which is usually about how long it takes. Not a clue. Not a clue. Received an unexpected report. That's the achievement, Steam achievement that I got. You guys can't probably see that on screen. Let's view the new tips. How many do I got? I got, looks like 2 new tips. Let's see. Let's go back one. Oh, won't let me go back one. Let me go. It's not letting me move. Okay. There are more than 4 perpetrators? Huh? Hypovolemic shock induced by clawing out their own throat. Tissue is packed under the nails, not someone else's nail. This is the coroner. It's undoubtedly by the individual's own nails. The shape of the scars also matches. Okay, so that's how the coroner has looked and sees that it's the shape of the nail. Oh, yeah. I know the immediate cause of death was suicide. I get it. You're saying the cause of death is unnatural, right? It's kind of like when your back itches and you scratch a little too hard and draw blood. Who is talking? Some of Tomotaki's fingernails had been pulled out. It's actually quite simple to pull out one's old nails. Ow! No, it's not! But it really hurts. Yes, it sure does. Under normal circumstances, the pain would prevent you from completely pulling them out. Also, there are a lot of bruises on Tomataki-san's body. It's clear from the shape of them that he was assaulted first by someone or a group of people. Oh, goodness, no, not 4 girls and they put some poison down his throat, which he has to get out by clawing at his own throat. No, but there was no bruises on the girl, so it can't be that. According to the toxicology report, the deceased was in an extreme state of hysteria right before death. Then he fought back and clawed out his own throat because of how hysterical he had become. The guys attacking him would have certainly been surprised by that. It's possible that, in such an abnormal environment, a person could perform acts that a sane individual couldn't possibly imagine. Of course, those are very rare cases. Actually, Oishi-kun, that wood plank the deceased uses as a weapon. They only found sand and paint from the guardrail on it. What about cloth fibers or skin? Nothing. The deceased didn't strike the assailants, or it could be they took the plank he was fighting back with. In that case, they wouldn't have gone out of their way to replace it with another. They'd take them all. Ha ha ha! That's true. Tomotaki's pretty built and tanned. He was quite an athlete. That's right. He was pretty active. I can't imagine what kind of sports he did when he was alive, but I think his physical strength would be on the higher side. Meaning, he would be difficult to overpower in a brawl. If a man with such a physique sensed he was in danger and swung the plank around quickly, it's just unthinkable that it wouldn't even nick the perpetrator. And his opponent was unarmed. This guy had a wooden plank, so you'd think he'd hit him at least once. To surround and take down someone of his physique, I wonder how many people it would take. You dimwit, you should know better than anyone. Have you forgotten your old bad cop days? If I was to take down this guy, how many would I need? When a group wants to take down big prey, it's fundamental to attack with numbers. So these are actually Oisha's thoughts. I guess about 4. Even if there was a gap in their strength, they'd manage. Then there were quite a few perpetrators, so any drunken disorderly groups of more than 4 are suspicious. A group of 4 or more. Just, if they had that many, then couldn't they have hidden the body in a less obvious location? Or did he somehow break away from that fatal predicament? Then there would be no reason to commit suicide. Moreover, I still can't comprehend the irregular way he died. It's full of mysteries, wrapped in enigmas. That's under serious consideration on my end, too. I'll be examining it as thoroughly as possible, but don't get your hopes up. After all, we've never encountered a death like this before. I'm not hoping for much, but I am looking forward to the results. Oishi-san, the chief is calling you. Thanks. See you around. Yeah. Best wishes. And the end. Okay. And then search notice. This should be short. Maybe. We'll see. Yuru Tomataki, deceased. Resided in a cheap hotel in Shishibone City. Registered under the names Jiro Tomataki. Pen name. Travels via folding bike. No license. The bicycle was found 300 meters away, abandoned at the side of a forest path. Present on the day of the festival, accompanied by the missing Mio Takano, was seen around 9 p.m. by police. Location afterwards unknown. Held residence in Himazawa for 1 week each season for the last 5 to 6 years. Freelance photographer specializing in wild birds. Check with magazine companies. Nothing suspicious in the film located among the articles of the deceased. Wallet was among the articles of the deceased. Mere act of violence? From the contents of his wallet, he spent most of his time around Tokyo and Chiba. Along the Sobu National Railway line? No individual matching the name Jiro Tomataki in the residency records of any of the Tokyo wards. Compare teeth to dental records. Send to Metro Police. Attach a photo. Send to Metro Police. Contacting magazines regarding Jiro Tomataki. Mio Takano, missing. Nurse at Erie Clinic, ooh, that's Erie, became close to Tomataki-san through her passion for wild bird photography. Resides in Okinomiya X District XXX. Some more redacted stuff. Single! Witness accompanied Tomataki on the festival grounds. Currently missing. Abducted? Or maybe a suspect. An important person of interest. Had no motive to kill the deceased. Squabble from jealousy? Need to thoroughly investigate their relationship. Place of work, etc. Need to get information from the police on scene again. I want some cream puffs. What? 4 jumbo ones. Uishi. Okay. Well, that does it for tonight. We have our murdered person, which is Tomataki-san, and he was one of the suspects. He is no more. My only saving grace about it being any of the main characters in the story, and it could be wrong, is that I know. Oh, so like his name has a J. It's not a H. Whatever I was calling him. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Oh, no, something. Vowels. Oh. That's a consonant. The J. Okay, I will try to keep that in mind. I probably will do poorly at that too. Um, anyway, anyway, I was saying there's like I forget how many more like chapters you can. Well, I have them all. Erie is pronounced Erie. Erie. Erie fits better digital. I'll just tell you that. Anyway, in all these parts, each one seems to be at least the pictures of one of these characters and some other characters. So they have storylines later on. Don't know what that's all about, but we'll find out. Okay, I did promise that I was going to show this picture again before I do my usual sign off of the concept, not the concept art, but the art from the different versions of this game. And as I said, in the middle is the Steam version, the version we're playing. At the right, the PS3, which is very similar. It's the one at the left. That looks like a Cookie Crisp box or something like that. Is that really the artwork for the original artwork for this game? Once again, like I was talking earlier, when I think of Japanese-based visual novels, or even manga for that matter, I think more of the... Well, no, I've seen manga that looks like the one on the left, but on computer, it's more like the Steam and the PS versions. That looks more like what I'm used to seeing in these visual novels. So, yes, it was a little bit of a shock when I actually was searching for something a couple weeks ago, and I saw the one on the left first, and they were saying, "Here, this is Higurashi," and I'm like, "No, that's not Higurashi. Is this someone's like a fan art of the game?" But it's not fan art. It's the actual game. Okay, let me take that off. And let me quickly exit and save as I just save and load. And I will save right down here. Yes. And I will just, as always, say thank you for watching. Oh, you can switch the original sprites in the Steam. I guess that's Steam version, not the Team version as well. Can you really? I gotta look for that little option. That would, I'm not gonna play that way, but it would be interesting. It would be nice to see what they all look like. Maybe we can do that next time, and take a look at all the characters in the original version. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you missed any of the previous episodes, you can go to my YouTube channel. The address is in the description of this video. I write my solo role plays up as stories over at Tev's Next Idea. That's tevsnextidea.blogspot.com. We were talking earlier in this game about board games, the Clue game. My current story, Help, I Have a Crush on My Rival, is actually based on a board game club in a local comic book store. So it's an interesting story. It's fun. You might want to read that. I also, if you're looking for something a little more serious, I do post articles mostly about my faith over at my other site, half-air.com. That's half air. And yes, as I always tell everyone, I am a Christian who plays games, and we're glad you're here. But if that just doesn't happen to be your faith, let me just suggest that maybe some of the things you've heard about God might not be true. And if you want to find out more, you can go to half-air.com, and on the sidebar there's some good resources, or read some of my articles, or just search for some, for some good solid information, if that's something that interests you. But if not, well, then we can look for you here next time. Who knows when that will be? I don't have any kind of regular streaming pattern here, and most of you are probably seeing this on my YouTube site, so you can just wait for that here. Okay, so for me, saying thanks for listening, or thanks for watching. Until next time, this is Terrence, and have a good night. Bye.